Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. Today, we'll go over the 20 plus titles that were demoed at the VR Game Showcase. I'll let you know which ones I've tried already and what I think about them, the games that have me most excited, and what I felt was the #1 announcement from the show. Now I'm going to leave out any games that were previously announced or footage we've already seen and focus primarily on the new announcements and big updates. There are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but let's start things off with Fast Travel Games bringing Payday back to VR. This is an all-new, built from the ground up VR experience that allows players to take on one of 4 unique roles, all of which will be instrumental in bank robbery. Now, if you guys remember the very early days of PC VR, Payday was actually ported on Steam VR, and if you could get it to run okay, it was a fantastic experience. As good as it was though, you could tell at its core it wasn't a VR game, and the scenes would show that this was once originally a flat game. So to see this being built from the ground up in VR has me extremely excited, and I am absolutely ready to jump back into Payday. And continuing into other new games, we gotta look at the co-op fantasy title, One More Delve, and holy crap does this look like my type of game. It looks sort of like a Dungeons of Eternity, which is already an amazing start, but from there it just gets darker, grittier, and more violent, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Now I also recently heard this is a solo dev project, so I am even more impressed and can't wait to try this one out. And the same goes for a bunch of new titles that were in the showcase. Personally, I would have never asked for a BMX style VR game named VMX. Here you enter into a multiplayer skate park and choose between BMX, scooters, and mountain bikes. Now again, this is not my go-to genre, but you have to admit this game looks incredible, and even better, it's currently available on Steam. So if you want me to cover this or any other of today's titles, please let me know right now down in the comments. Now another release that caught my eye is the room-scale puzzle experience, The Amusement. The journey to inspect an abandoned amusement park that was recently inherited turns into a puzzle-solving, heartstring-pulling, narrative-driven experience that takes on a seriously deep storyline. Now, while the mature nature might not be right for everyone, it has been designed to use room scale, making it ideal for any VR gamers, including those who suffer from motion sickness. Overall, it looks like it'll be a fun experience, just like the next game, The Lightkeepers. The same team that brought us Medieval Dynasty New Settlement is back again, but this time they're going much heavier on the action. I'm not 100% sure what genre this fits in just yet, but it looks like a co-op survival title, similar to something like Drop Dead the Cabin. Overall, I'm intrigued because this looks like something completely new and unique, with the potential to be a solid co-op title. I'm still not 100% sure what to expect, but I know I at least want to give it a try, which is exactly how I feel about our next game, Plasmborne. Ultra fast-paced and chaotic roguelike shooter might be the perfect single-player, dual-wielding itch scratch that I needed. Now, I'm not seeing anything here from these clips that blows me away just yet, and I know a lot of us are sick of roguelikes in VR, but when they're done right, they're absolutely incredible, so I'll keep some high hopes for this one. And my hopes are continuing to increase as we go through today's list, which included a first look at Spymaster. From the same studio that gave us Mask Maker and The Fisherman's Tale, now they're back with a whole new time-bending experience. Now, if you're familiar with either of those titles, you're already aware that the developers know how to make some of the most clever VR puzzles, create one-of-a-kind VR mechanics, while also delivering an incredible storyline. So obviously, I have some really high expectations for this one, and that's including the fact that I rarely ever get excited for puzzle-style games. But another announcement that got me extremely excited was the announcement for Panoptic 2. This was originally an asymmetrical PC VR title that was way ahead of its time, and I'm extremely excited to see it return. Now, for the unfamiliar, it plays similar to something like Takelings or Divigo, where the VR player takes on the role of a huge character, and everyone else is small creatures that need to sneak around. Now, I'm selling the original Panoptic short here because there are a bunch more mechanics, and I'm definitely going to check this game out when it releases. And the same goes for the Flat the VR port of Wrath Aeon of Ruin. Apparently, we're getting the Wrath VR Brutal Edition, and it's dropping right around the corner on April 9th. This is some old school boomer shooter fast-paced action, and if you enjoyed something like a medieval VR, you'll most likely love this game too. Now, I've already completely played through that title on flat screen and thoroughly enjoyed it, so I can't wait to see how much better it will be in VR. But honestly, the announcements that got me most excited were for Exoshock and Legendary Tales. When it comes to Exoshock, they announced a Founder Edition with perks. The game will also be playable in a flat screen mode with cross-play support, and we could also expect to see a PlayStation VR 2 and Steam Frame version in the future. Now, these updates came from fellow content creator Gamertag VR, who recently signed on to help support this game. Now, I was actually really happy to hear that for two main reasons. The first was GT's description of the intensity of this game was exactly how I felt the first time I played it, and the fact that I know he's going to be hypercritical to the dev team to make sure all the mechanics feel perfect. Now, I've demoed this game multiple times throughout its alpha, and every time I come back to it, I get more and more impressed. But I am even happier to announce that the newest Dawn of History DLC for Legendary Tales is available right now. This is another massive update that includes new enemies, locations, legendary weapons, spells, and a new divine class tree if you want to build a support-like character. Now, the team at Urban Wolf always continues to impress me. The amount of content and refined mechanics that they produce is just absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to jump back into this, and if you guys are interested, join my Discord because we do a game night every single Tuesday. Well, let's start wrapping up this video with just a handful of extra exciting new game updates. For those of you who just recently picked up the 1.0 version of Bootstrap Island and enjoyed it, well, I'm happy to announce that more content is on the way. There'll be new challenge modes with online leaderboards, a new creature to face off against, and a series of additional improvements. Now, Forefront also has their full 1.0 release coming on April 23rd, but before then, we're getting the Ford map drop this week. Now, this is also your last chance to get Forefront before its price increase, but that 1.0 version is also coming with a new map, new vehicle, additional improvements, and updates specifically for PC VR. Listen guys, if you're a PvP shooter fan, pick up Forefront, you'll enjoy it, it's a no-brainer. Now, the free-to-play co-op job simulator style game, Dimensional Double Shift, also has the new DLC Sporelando coming, and as childish as this game appears, I highly recommend it, it's a ton of fun with your friends. It's also free to play, and only one person has to own the DLC, so I recommend you at least give it a try. And the same basically goes for Among Us 3D. While it's not exactly free, it's super cheap, and it's one of those games that's insanely fun with friends. Now we're getting the Definitive Edition next month, which is perfect for anyone who loves this game and wants all of the content in one shot. And finally, I saved one of the best updates for last, and that's the co-op mode for RoboQuest dropping on May 21st. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with this game. It was an absolutely incredible flat screen roguelike shooter that got the extra special flat to VR treatment. So an already great flat game is now even better in VR, but we know games are always better with friends, and this one was missing co-op, but not for much longer. And that was today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, I'd love to hear any of your questions or comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, consider subscribing.